Okay.
Welcome to the 5-Year-Old and Me show. I'm Coco Brown, lifestyle diva and author of Mikasa Blurred Lines, Book One. And I'm delighted to have here with me Sherrye Samuels, jewelry designer, skinologist, and owner of the Suga Honey Pot. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse now for about 32 years, and a mom, a mother, a sister, a friend, um, dog lover, artist, a connoisseur, you name it. I'm just about everything, just about everything. So that's, basically about me. I like to dabble in a lot of different things and do different things because I do get bored very easily. So that's why I'm always, reinventing myself, doing different things.
Okay. Okay, so we went to St. Catherine's Academy together. We
Mhm.
hung out a lot in the Bronx.
Mhm.
We've known each other for at least 40 years. Could you believe that? 40
I know.
years, Sherry. I mean, it's been a great
Yeah.
ride, I would say, on my side, a good journey. How about for you?
It's been a while. It's been a good ride also. I think during that time when we started being friends, um, you were young and everything. You don't really know the value of like good friendships at that time. But think
Right.
as I've gotten older, I've realized what a true friend is and what friendships are. Um, it took a while. It took a long time to realize that. But things come back to full circle. Because like the other day when we had met up and everything, I was like, wow, I got to see Andrew. That's so nice. And even like now when I go by your neighborhood, I'm like, that's where my friend grew up. I still remember the building, still remember everything. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, but it is full circle. Life is a full circle, 360. Everything always comes back into fruition. Everything.
That's so true. So, thinking back to when we were in high school, like throughout that passage of time, we had dreams and aspirations that I'm sure for you were different from when we were in high school. Like what you've done now, is it similar or what were your aspirations like in high school?
I was going to join the Peace Corps and go to
Oh,
Africa.
oh my
And when I told my
goodness.
dad that, he said, no, you're not. You're going to college. I had not applied to college when we were in high school.
Really?
Nope. I did not apply. If it was not for Sister Helen Marie, I would have not went to college. So what happened
Wow.
was we had a parents teachers meeting. And I was always flighty with my mouth. So I had got into trouble and my father just looked at me. He didn't say anything to me the whole ride home. I got home. He said, you're going to college. I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to the Peace Corps. I'm going to help with wells, build whatever I got to do. I'm going to Africa. He said, no, you're not. You're going to college. And what happened was Sister Helen Marie called up the College of New Rochelle because, it was a Catholic college also. So she called
Right.
up the nuns there and she said, I have a student that needs to go to college. Whatever she did, we graduated in June. I got my acceptance letter in July or August. I was starting college in New Rochelle that September.
Oh
And
my
that was it.
gosh.
Yeah. I've
Wow.
always wanted to take care of people, but I had not applied to college. That was the only school I applied to because I was not going to college.
So wait, tell me a little bit about your background, Sherry, because I see
Mhm.
you at Carnival and I'm
Mhm.
like, wait a minute. I didn't realize some things about you. So tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, as far as ethnicity, I identify as Afro Latino because my mother is Panamanian. So my whole
Okay.
side, my mother's family is Latino, and my father's side is West Indian. So, you know,
From?
um, Barbados, and my
No.
grandmother's from Antigua.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
hmm
So I didn't know. that we had that in common somewhat because my
Mhm.
background, my grandmother was born in St. Thomas.
Oh, okay.
And one of her sisters was born in Puerto Rico, and another one was born in St. Kitts.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't realize, we had that
Mm-hmm.
commonality.
Mm.
So did you not talk to your dad prior to that crunch time? Like, y'all didn't have discussions like, oh, okay, this is what you want to do, or let me see your college applications, let me, all of that.
No, I am first generation to go to college.
Oh,
My
okay.
mom, um, she never spoke about it, but I believe she never even graduated high school. My grandmother never went past eighth grade. My father was
Oh,
in the service. So that was something that was not like, oh, let me see your college application. Like I would do it my kids now because I know
mhm.
the steps that they need to take. My parents didn't know the steps that they needed to take in order to get me there. They just knew I needed to get there.
Okay.
So there was no guidance from them. They depended more or less on the school to help guide me in that direction
Okay.
because they really didn't know.
Okay.
And so with that, that's why there was no interest in me going to college. I was like, because it was something that was never spoken about in the
Okay.
household.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. You were
Hmm.
always so polished. I just figured you just, always had a plan.
Oh no.
Um,
Mm-mm.
so who introduced you to Peace Corps?
What happened is the girl that my grandmother used to take care of across the street, her
Hmm.
sister was older than us. So her sister was in the Peace Corps. She was
Oh,
in
okay.
Africa. She went to
Okay.
Rwanda. She went to all these places in Africa. So that always had an interest. I've always had an interest in doing that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
So you spent a lot of time with her or with her sister?
Yeah, well, they
That's
live
how.
across the street. They still live
Okay.
across the street. And she
Okay.
went to St. Catherine's with us, Monique Keefe. She
Oh,
graduated with
wow.
Charna. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So you knew that at what age would you say?
I was about maybe 8, 10 years old, maybe. I
Wow.
was young. I
Okay.
was very young. Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna go. I was like, it wasn't. And plus, most of the people that I hung out with when after high school, I mean, like during high school, because I don't even remember that being our conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna be truthful with you. I never remember it coming up in conversation with anybody, really much. Maybe with one
Mm.
person, and like that person I don't see anymore, speak with, but
Right.
that was it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And so you said 8. So at 5, you never thought like, okay, I want to be a ballerina or I want to be a what were you thinking at 5? What were you like at 5?
I wanted to be a veterinarian. I remember wanting to be a vet, to take care of animals. I didn't know what it entailed. I knew I
Okay.
wanted to take care of animals, but didn't know what it entailed. And
Okay.
then the next week, I probably wanted to be a dancer,
Right.
and then
Right.
the next
Yeah.
week, I probably wanted to be a teacher. At 5 years old, I was like all over the place at 5.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
Hmm.
what's the defining quality for you that you could say you knew at 5 like you were bossy or you were precocious, friendly? Like what would you say what trait carried through all these years for you that
Bossy.
maybe one of your parents said, "Oh, Sherry loves to talk. She loves to, what's that thing?"
Um, the trait was I've always liked to, talk with people. I would get up and give like speeches and talk with people. I was a little bossy because I'm the youngest child, so I had to, stand my ground. And at one point, I remember also wanting to be like an entertainment or do something acting,
Wow.
but that never, until now,
Until
it
now.
came into
And
fruition.
really? You're
Hmm.
acting?
Yes. I have a movie that I'm in. It's premiering on February 22nd. It's
Oh
called
my
Young Love.
goodness.
Yeah. So a friend of
Oh,
mine did a movie and I went for the audition and I got the role.
oh my goodness. Oh, that's exciting. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see that. Where is
Yeah.
it going to be? On the big screen?
Yeah, it's going to be premiered here in the Bronx at
Hmm.
John Philip Sousa High School. But what we're going to do, I'm sure it probably will go to Tubi because usually they go
Okay.
to Tubi. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Oh,
Hmm.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So, how did you get from college to being a nurse? What made you decide that's what you were gonna focus on?
Well, I knew that I've always wanted to take care of people. And when we were in high school, there was a group of us that went to college or a show. I think Sister Helen Marie got a few of us in.
Okay.
And I remember it was like about three or four of us that went. And I was the only one that continued because everybody else had left. So out
Wow.
of the four of us, I was the only one left. And but then when I got to college on my first day, I met friends there that I'm
Mm,
still like really tight with now, my sisters.
mm,
So
nice.
and that's was friendships that were formed, until now.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you went to college in New Rochelle. That you could major in nursing there?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. And so then after you left there, how does that work? Like, is it 8 years? Is it 6 years? How many years did you have to work before I mean, how many years were you in school before you became an RN?
I was in school for 4 years. I got my bachelor's degree.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And then you just go right into the hospital and start
You
doing,
start working, you take your state boards,
okay.
and we took our state boards, and then you pass, and then you start working.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So when you, which hospital did you go to first
I went
to
to
work at?
NYU. NYU.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Is
New
that
York
where you're at
University.
now still?
No, no, I'm at Metropolitan Hospital now.
Okay. So when
Hmm.
you first started out, did you feel like, okay, this is where I want to be? Or
I
were
was
you,
scared, very
oh,
scared,
okay.
very scared.
Okay.
Because when I started nursing, it was in 87. No, no, 91. Ugh, 91 when I started nursing. And
Right.
it was during the AIDS epidemic. So what happened
Oh,
was there was a
wow.
mass exodus of nurses that were older. They just left the field because AIDS came out and
Hmm.
nobody knew about it. Nobody, there wasn't even a name for it when I started. It was called FUO. So at that
It was
point,
called what?
FUO, fever of
FUO?
fever of unknown origin. That was the name of it. And they had us all new nurses working with these patients. And these patients, they looked very sickly. They were dying left and right. It was like with COVID. So we were taking care of these patients, brand new students. We didn't know what we were doing. So at that point, it was very, very scary. At that point, I was questioning if I really wanted to be a nurse.
Wow. So
Hmm.
were you masked up and gloved up?
Yeah,
Were you
the
all
best we can
okay?
do. Hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so what got you from there to here? Because you said 32 years. That's a long time. So when did you start getting into your groove? What year would you say?
Um, I stayed at NYU for 2 years and then I
Okay.
left and I went to home care and I did home care for like 14 years. And
Wow.
there I met like older nurses, more seasoned,
Hmm.
and they guided me all the way through. And then I
Wow.
decided it was time to leave there and go back for my master's degree, which I went
Hmm.
back and got my family nurse practitioner degree. And then,
Okay.
yeah, so after I did that, and then I said, I don't even know if I want to really practice as an FNP. I think I want to teach because I've always wanted to teach, but I didn't know how to intertwine that with the nursing. So then I said, teach nursing. So then that's when I went back to college, New Rochelle, and I spoke
Hmm.
to the dean, and he needed somebody. It just so happened that the person that he had 2 weeks before the class started just dropped out. He had nobody to
Wow.
teach the lecture. So I told him,
Wow.
I said, he said, I need you to teach it. I said, I've never taught before. He said to
Hmm.
me, you can do it. I said, I don't know. So we going back and forth. And the next thing I know, I was up in front of a class teaching. And he said, you got to
Oh my
finish up. Yeah,
gosh.
make sure you go back to school. And that's what I did. So when I finished my FNP, I waited 2 years, and that's when I went back for my doctorate.
For your doctorate?
Yeah, I'm a Dr. Sherrye
Wow.
Samuels. Yeah.
Wow, Dr. Sherrye Samuels. That's awesome. So,
hmm
which nun did you say got you into New Rochelle? Did she know your past? She knows all of this that you've accomplished?
I believe Sister Helen Marie passed away, unfortunately.
Really, before you became a doctor?
Before, like maybe about 10 years ago, she passed away.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have
hmm
you been a doctor?
Now it is going on 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. But she knows you finished at least, right? She knows you got your
I,
bachelor's and
I'm sure she might know, but and that's something I never did. I never went back to thank her.
oh, wow.
Yeah, I
I
never
mean, I'm
went
sure
back to
she
thank
just
her.
would have been happy to hear that you
Yeah.
were a finisher, and then you
Yes.
kept going and you achieved so much. I mean, I
Yeah.
know they're proud whenever any of the alumni are successful. And I don't
That's true.
remember seeing your story in the newsletter.
No, no, no. I never put it
Okay.
in there. No, I never put
Yeah,
it
because
in.
you didn't
Yeah.
share with them. Yeah, but that's such an awesome accomplishment, Sherry,
hmm
especially considering that you didn't even want to go to college and you
Exactly.
just took it all away. I'm
hmm
very proud of you.
Thank you.
Um, so you like taking care of people,
hmm
but now, I mean, I see you cooking on social media. I see you are cooking up skincare. How did you decide, okay, I want to, share this with the world because I'm sure you used it for years or maybe, sometime before you decided I'm going to sell this.
hmm
How did that get started?
Um, well, you remember I was taking care of my grandmother. My grandmother lived with me, and
Okay. Yeah.
her skin was flawless. So as she got older, you need to take better care of your skin. So they
Yes.
used to use like lotions on her. I said, "Ma, let me make this cream up." So I made up a cream, and then we're using it on her skin. So as she
Hmm.
started declining, she's not moving much. The nurse had came over because she had a visiting nurse, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, her skin looks so beautiful, so radiant." And that's when I told her this, it's a cream that I use. So what I did was I used to just make little small jars and just give them out to people to try, and people liked it.
Hmm.
And then from there, I said, you know what? Let me put different fragrances to it. And I tried doing that. And then a friend of mine, and him and I was sitting down one day at dinner. I said, I really need to get a name for this, and I need to get a logo and stuff for it. And that's when we decided, and that's when we came up with the sugar honey pot.
Wow. Okay.
hmm
That's nice.
hmm
Um, so you knew people liked it and you just said, okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. How has
hmm
business been? You have a team? Is it just you?
It's just me
Oh.
that does it. And, I get help sometimes from my daughter or from my friend. He helps me out.
Hmm.
But I usually hand make everything, get all my products together, and I do my mailing and my shipping myself.
Oh, wow. Okay. So how are
Mhm.
you able to keep up with the demand of a full-time job? You're teaching and you're running this business. How do you juggle it all?
Well, the business is just starting out, so it hasn't really like catapulted yet to where I would like it to be. It's still
Okay.
very low key. I do most of my sales like at work, people buy. And
Okay.
I have a little part-time place that I go to like once or twice a month, and they buy from me. So people put their orders in, and I have an Etsy account. So people will
Okay.
put orders in on Etsy also.
Okay.
Um, I juggle it pretty well because in the hospital we only work 3 days a week. So it's not
Okay.
bad. Yeah, it's only
So
three
you
days a week that I work.
3/10 or three eight
Three, no,
hour
three
shifts?
twelves, 3 12s.
Oh, 3/12s. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you teach how often?
Like twice a week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So, what advice do you have for other entrepreneurs starting out? What was the most challenging for you, and what did you find most rewarding in this path so far? How long has it been since the business
Since
started?
the business started, it's maybe about 4 years. Right before COVID
Okay.
that I started doing it. And then during COVID, that's when I started sitting down. I think that's when I was able to do the LLC because I couldn't go out anywhere, do anything. So I said, oh, let
Right.
me just sit here and just try to get this off the ground. But I was just trying to get that off the ground. Um, my advice to new people starting out is you have to be consistent and you have to be persistent and you have to stay on focus. Those are the things that
Okay.
you have to do. Yeah, those are the things that you have to
Okay.
do. Mhm.
And what's your favorite business tool? Is there something you use to manage your time, to, organize your inventory? What's your favorite business tool?
Well, pen and paper.
Okay. Old
I'm a
school.
person, I'm old school. I write everything down. Don't give me an Excel sheet because I don't know what to do with it. I will just look at you. I take pictures of everything. I write it down and take a picture and put it in the cloud so I don't lose it. I'm
Okay.
very old school. I said, if anybody was to come, a corporation, and said, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Wait a minute, I have the pen and paper. I'll show you that. I don't have an app for it, but I got the pen and paper for it.
I love it. Okay,
Mhm.
so what's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish is Italian food. I love Italian food. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my first favorite cuisine besides West Jamaican food. So Italian is
Okay.
my favorite. Yes.
And the dish you make, what's the favorite Italian dish that you make?
People like my eggplant parmesan. I make like
Okay.
a nice vegan eggplant. I'm not vegan, but I make a nice eggplant, vegan eggplant parmesan.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so what's your favorite vacation destination?
My favorite is Mexico.
Oh, wow, really?
I love Mexico. If I said if I had to live in any other country, it would be Mexico.
Any particular part?
I love them all. I've been to Cabos, I've been to Cancun, Tulum, Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
I love Mexico. Yeah, Mexico
Okay.
is
You speak
beautiful.
Spanish?
A little, just a little.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite podcast or book?
My favorite book. Okay, I read a lot. I think I go through different phases. When we were younger, it was the coldest winter ever.
Yes. Yes.
As I got older, it was the color purple.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now I don't have a favorite book, but I have a favorite author, and I can't remember her name. She is Indian descent, East Indian descent.
Oh,
Oh man, I can't remember her name, but her books trans they transcend you right to the spot where she's talking about. Her books,
wow. Okay.
Umagar Thrifty Umagar, Thrifty Umagar. Her books are
Okay.
excellent, excellent.
Wow.
A friend of mine who passed away, one of my best friends, because I'm in a book club, so she had us read this book before she passed away. And when I
Okay.
read that book, it was the best book ever. Thrifty
Wow.
Umagar, and I've downloaded all her books. Her
Okay.
reading, her books are excellent.
I'm gonna check her out. Okay.
Hmm.
So tell me, what is your favorite holiday memory? We're in the month of December and people are
Hmm.
rushing around for this or that. So what's your favorite holiday memory?
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite. Not Christmas. I'm not a big Christmas person, but Thanksgiving, because it was at a time where my whole family we got together. My grandmother was alive,
Mm,
and the cooking and the food and everything. That
yes.
Thanksgiving is it. And even to this day, I used to say when after my grandmother passed away, I'm not cooking on Thanksgiving. I'm not doing Thanksgiving no more. I had about 10 people here Thanksgiving Day. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go right back and just do what my grandmother did. Just have people over and let's cook. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is always a good time. That's true. That's
Hmm.
true. So I want to thank you for spending time with me today to tell,
Hmm.
the people about you
Hmm.
and, all the things that you're involved with. So much. I didn't imagine thinking back to when we were 13 and 14 that, you would do all that you've done. And even a lot of the things that I've done, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe all this time has passed. But
Wow.
I want to thank you. And could
Thank
you please
you.
tell the people where they can find you?
They can find me on my Etsy shop. It's called the Sugar Honey Pot. So it's THSUGA Honey Pot, one word. And it's on Etsy. And we have five
Okay.
different fragrances available for our homemade body butters. And we also have
Mhm.
a homemade body oil and hair oil. And the body butter can also be used in your hair because it's non-clogging. So it's very, very good, especially with this cold weather that's coming up or here
Nice,
already.
nice.
Hmm.
And are you on IG?
Yes, I'm on IG and it is also the Sugar Honey Pot on IG.
Okay, all right. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna put your information in the details because I'm sure people will be reaching out. They'll be excited about trying your products. And again, I just want to thank you.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm so proud of this. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.